Hi everyone, I'm Fabian from Terranigma Solutions, and I'm very happy to have been invited to talk to you a little bit about our own company, Terranigma, my own role in it as a co-founder, and the experiences that I've made along the way on my journey as being an entrepreneur. And since this is supposed to be about success stories, I want to open with a question. How do you become a successful entrepreneur? And it might not surprise you, but I'd say that there's not one clear answer to this because there's not one clear path towards that. And a second question would be, how do you define success? In the world of startups, you might define success maybe as reaching a valuation of more than 1 billion, becoming a so-called unicorn, and exiting by selling your company. But you might also define success by simply building a smaller company with, say, 20 employees, where you can be sustainable, have sustainable business in the long term. Or success might also be defined by merely attempting to going down this path, this journey, and it might be defined by all the learnings that you gather along the way. So I'd argue that success is a very subjective, a very personal thing, and I'm also very hesitant to say whether I'm successful, whether I've been successful or not. But what I can tell you is that on this journey over the last three and a half years, where I've been doing this with Terranigma, there's not been one moment where I've regretted this attempt at being an entrepreneur. And I've gathered so many different skills that I would not have gotten, I believe, had I just pursued a 9-to-5 job, for example. And I'm very much looking forward to continuing on the same journey with my team. So that's why I want to now tell you a little bit about my own path, how it all happened for me, and maybe this will provide you with some insights that can help you on your own journey and making a decision whether you want to attempt to becoming an entrepreneur, for example. So let me start with a little bit about myself. I studied what's called Georesources Management at the RWTH Aachen University in Germany and graduated there with my master's in 2017. At that point in time, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I did not see myself as an entrepreneur, and I did not see myself as a founder. In fact, I then took a year to work as a research assistant to write a scientific paper based on my own master thesis, and I believed I would continue with a PhD. But then I was invited to join an incubator program in Berlin called Entrepreneur First. The concept here was to put many people with different mindsets and different skill sets into one room so that they could exchange their ideas and possibly come up with good startup ideas in order to found such startups. They were really good at providing you with this notion of what it means to be an entrepreneur and providing you with a lot of ambition. And in the end, I came out of this program not with a startup, but with this ambition and the feeling that that was really something I wanted to try. And soon after that, I had the opportunity by joining my team that I had from the institute where I did my master's at back in Aachen. And here is where the story of Terranigma actually begins. And it actually begins in 2016, where two of my co-founders, Miguel and Professor Florian Wellman, head of the institute, they co-created an open source software for 3D geological modeling called GmbH. And this showed them that there was a huge potential in bringing the scientific insights and technology advances from academia, from this institute, to real-world applications. And with this goal in mind is that our team gathered and founded Terranigma as a company in March 2020. And you can see that we're 5 co-founders, so a relatively high number for such a startup. And since then, we've been working together on bringing innovative digital solutions into the world of geosciences and raw materials. So, and what we're addressing currently in our developments, it's inefficiencies that we still see in geological modeling and exploration workflows. We see that these result especially from the separation between the field, where you have data gathering, often still in an analog manner, and then the work in the office, which is mostly the processing of said data, and the building of geological models, which is mostly conducted by one single person sitting in front of a computer, working alone on creation of a model, which then also takes a lot of time. And we want to make these workflows more efficient with our own cloud-based solution for geodata visualization, processing, and modeling called Liquid Earth. And here you can see a little bit of footage from our alpha version that we reached earlier this year. And with a Liquid Earth in its first iteration, we're leveraging the cloud capabilities to enable geological experts, engineers, and other stakeholders to come together in this virtual space to collaborate remotely and in real time across different devices. We have developed this for laptop and desktop PC, but also portable devices such as tablets, so you can use this on the go, but also for innovative devices such as mixed reality, so that you can flexibly put on a VR headset to better dive into your 3D data and better understand the complexities that you always have in geosciences and mining, for example. But most importantly, I believe, is that we're finally building a bridge between field work and office work. We're enabling geological experts to work digitally, directly in the field, and immediately integrate new data as it comes in, so that you can also inspect it remotely and safely. So overall, we're working on digitally connecting this whole workflow in order to accelerate it, but also on digitally connecting the different types of experts, helping them share their insights, and in the end to come to better understandings, better geological models, and better decision making. And our beachhead market might not surprise you, but it's mining. And this is a huge market which is in dire need of digitization. And we've also focused on this because we've been now for 3 years in an EIT raw materials upscaling project where we've been funded, but where we've also been in crucial collaboration with players from the industry, such as Boliden, Swedish mining company, Sandfire Matza, mining company located in Spain, and the German mining consultancy firm DMT. And these companies help us shape our developments, shape our product, so that it addresses their specific customer needs in this market. But we also see lots of opportunities in adjacent markets such as geotechnical engineering, water, environmental, geothermal, where we actually have in part very, very similar problems. And now that I've provided you with a little bit of an overview on Terranigma, on what we do and what our goals are, I wanted to share with you my thoughts on what skills and traits are that future entrepreneurs should have. And let me start with digitization. So I believe, and this is something, of course, that everybody here should know that it's coming, that you should go with digitization and first of all, try to maybe acquire at least basic programming skills. From my own experience, this was defining for me. I learned programming, specifically Python, in my master thesis, and this was a skill that was very, very complementary to my unique skills in geosciences, but also economics and business. And I thereby was able to provide myself with an edge, with a unique competitive advantage. And I also believe that the workforce in the future will be expected to have at least basic programming skills. And if you don't, then at least try to understand trends in digitization and the concepts behind buzzwords such as AI or data analytics. Understand concepts such as IoT and connected worker, because in the end, this is what will help you build a bridge between technology and business to create solutions that actually answer problems in a market. Then secondly, I want to urge you, and I think that most of you already do, to think internationally and on a global scale. Because of course today networks are on an international level, and most of the talent you will find also internationally. Our team, for example, has people from Germany, from Spain, from the United States, and I think this is hugely beneficial, especially because you will be, as you look into technology and mining, you will be addressing a global market. So having a global team and an international team and an international mindset will help you address this in an appropriate manner. And then I would also tell you, don't be afraid to dream big, to be ambitious, and to actually follow a vision that applies to a global scale. And last, I wanted to address a little bit the personal traits that I believe that future entrepreneurs should have. There's many. So one of the most important ones is to be resilient. I think you should be comfortable with uncertainty because you will be taking lots of risks over a long period of time. You will face lots of ups and downs, and there will be moments where you will want to just quit. And there it is decisive to be resilient, to continue, because that will, in the end, decide whether you are successful or not, according to your own definition. But here I want to talk about communication, which I also believe is key. First of all, externally, you should be able or willing to leave your room, leave your office, not just develop your ideas, but expose them to gather feedback. Talk to as many people as possible. Talk to people that are your potential customers to better understand what their workflows are, what their challenges are and needs, and to see whether you're actually building something that will help them, provide value to them. And then internally, be a team player. I know that many of the entrepreneurs you see today on the world stage seem to be egomaniacs and successful too. But I believe that the future entrepreneur should be different, should be a team player, should be empathetic and open towards different perspectives and criticism. Because in the end, that is the only way that you can actually have a better basis of information, be less biased, and be better informed in the end to make better decisions. And that was my talk. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this was interesting to you. I hope you have now some takeaways that will help you maybe think about your own ideas and the journey that you might want to go. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Here's my email address, but you can also contact me on LinkedIn, for example. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the event.